Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. Whoop, whoop. What's happening? What's happening, good people? How you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's the one and only your homegirl, Ladosha, right? AKA Key Lolo. That's right. Coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio. And y'all know who that is over there, right? Let me give my little finger. There it is. That's right. It's the one and only Cheryl Morrow, my PNC, my partner in cosmetology, aka the hair oracle is in the heezy. And boy, we got the funky dope podcast for you guys tonight. Particularly, if you are a licensed cosmetologist, barber, natural hairstylist, braider, what they call locticians, or just a good old-fashioned hair aficionado. Maybe you're an autodidact. Well, you have just landed on planet Pluto Pseudo, and here we take it all comers and coming all takers. Don't come on this podcast with no pseudo, or else me and the hair oracle, we gonna get you. Okay, so we are on our, what episode are we on, Cheryl? Is this our, hold on, let me look at my little notes here.
I know it's kind of hard to keep up.
We do so much. Hold on, y'all, don't worry. Your vision ain't blurry. They don't know nothing about that, do they, Cheryl? What's up, chat? How y'all doing? This is our 31st episode, so we 3-1 in. I know we're 103 in on the dumbest ish, because Kay Cantrell let me know that 103 EP. I thought that meant extended play, but Cheryl was like episode. I'm like, well, excuse me. What's up, Sonya? She coming through. I got a question already. Y'all just stick around. Don't y'all go anywhere. We are going to have a wonderful podcast tonight. It is all about hormones, right? Hair growth and hair loss, because on Monday, we discussed the weather and hair, and man, that podcast was off the Richter scale. And I just also, Cheryl, we definitely want to thank all of the people who are watching this post the live, because I go into this little, YouTube has this little thing here. You know, we're not YouTubers, right? We're just two people who are passionate about hair. So don't be calling us no influencers, right, Cheryl?
No, please don't.
Oh, we are not influencers, okay? Don't be calling us that. But they have this little thing right on here. I don't know what this thing is called. So anywho, you can check your status. And so I see that a lot of you guys are watching us post the live, and you're making some wonderful comments. And we just want to thank you guys again so much for being our supporters, because we are definitely trying to help change the narrative about Afro hair. And me, y'all know me, Key Lolo, the real life cosmetologist, always starts some ish. And then Cheryl, y'all know, right, where she go? Right there she is, the hair oracle. She always seems to clear it up and make things that are very difficult. She always makes it make sense. So all the licensed professionals, this podcast is truly dedicated to you guys, because when we see stuff like this, I told Cheryl I want to talk to her about it. I'm going to put up a little clip. I don't know if you guys are aware, right, Cheryl? This is a natural.
Hold it at an angle.
Hold it at an angle. Oh, you know what? Here, I could do it.
It has a glare. It has a glare.
All right, Cheryl, it's got a glare. Come on, Key Lolo, get it together. Hey, Hold on. I did one even better. Here it is, sure. I think I did something smart here. There it is. Okay. So this is the Talia Wajid's natural hair and I can't even read. Good Lord. Natural hair health and beauty show. So this is her new show, and we're going to talk about that tonight just a little bit because we do have some professionals who are always in the chat, and we know that you guys we're starting to become a little source for a handful of you guys. I see some consistency in some of the people who are following us, so we appreciate each and every one of you. Because Cheryl, why is this podcast so dear to you? Like, why are you doing this? I know why I'm doing it.
And I love the industry. The industry has given me such a great life, and something that my dad loved very dearly. So, I'm carrying on that generational wealth in terms of information in this regard. And wealth is also knowledge. And so it's a good thing to pass it on.
Right. And I think that we do have some people who are, they're scrolling past and they're just like, oh, wait a minute. Who is them two girls sitting up there talking like, got one Cornell West, you got one hood rat. This ought to be very interesting. But a lot of people may not be aware of you being an heiress, to the California Curl Empire. So do you ever feel like the pressure? Like, I gotta do this because I am an heiress, unlike Kilolo. What the hell are you doing? Because your dad influences people like me, because you know what I'm saying. So do you feel the pressure to like you have to be out here given what's taking place across the United States and in some other parts of the world when it comes to hair? Do you feel like pressure, like you gotta do this here?
I only feel pressured when we get the information wrong, or there's something that we need to know for us to do better. Because I don't think that we intellectually want to do something against our best interest. I think that we just don't know. And so I feel.
And why don't we know? What I mean, we have, ain't that right, Armisa? We got the internet, we got text messages, we have all this technology. So why are we not knowing?
Probably a generational gap in terms of a knowledge gap. I think that, between probably 1995 and the start of the Y2K natural movement, it's just, and then we started making things up on top of myths really came to age maybe about 2005, 2006. And so, yeah, I just think that myths on top of probably the knowledge gap between 1985 and 2000. And then, of course, just a lot of.
So are you saying, when you say knowledge gap, are you saying like knowledge went out of style, or people just stopped talking about it, or was it no movement in the knowledge, or so knowledge gap?
I think because 1960s natural movement is so much more different. It dovetailed. It has so many nice connectedness to the next technology and to the next thing. The natural hair movement of Y2K kind of was a dis movement, right? An movement.
But it captured, how many cosmetologists are in the chat? But it really captivated a large segment of licensed professionals. So,
well, when you're anti, it's like the MAGA movement. It's anti-establishment. It's anti, but it wants to replace it with something old, but it's, now you have the push for natural hair care wanting license. And so now you have all of these dangling pieces of information, and it doesn't quite seem to come together. The history doesn't come together. The culture doesn't come together. The economics doesn't come together. The knowledge doesn't come together. The chemistry doesn't come together. The information doesn't come together. And then professionals and laymen, beauty enthusiasts, the new age of the beauty blogger and the influencer, it doesn't come together. And so that I don't feel the pressure. I just feel compelled.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's kind of interesting when you talk about, what's taken, what took place with the
Mhm.
gap, in the knowledge. It appears that a lot of cosmetologists and barbers, and of course your natural hairstylists, they feel like that they got a lot of information in the gap. So when you say a lot of misinformation in the
Mhm.
knowledge gap, what might they have missed? Because tonight's topic, as we talk about hormones and hair growth and hair loss, to me, because
Mhm.
I'm building up to some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to build it. Y'all know I'm about to get jiggy with it. We gonna get to our video, our real videos in a minute. I'm just
Yeah,
wait for people to
I
come
know
in.
where you're
The
going.
chat is definitely building, right? You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, the cosmetologist, now I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all know me. I'm an honest ho-hober. Okay. I never really thought cosmetologists would really fall for this, but our topic tonight is about hormones, hair growth, and hair loss. And to me, this is where the natural hair community really kind of use that gap to put some pseudo,
Yeah.
inside on top, So now how are you going to be able to use your, your business acumen, your knowledge,
Mhm.
set of information to kind of, because that's a big situation
Yeah.
there, Cheryl, that you're talking about with, with your passion.
Right. And not gaps because they're not fillable. They're gaps because a generation called the Y2K natural, they kind of created a new movement that didn't need to be new. It just needed to be recaptured. And when you don't connect to what was, or to even ask, because there's people around in the industry, how things were, how were they, how come, why come, what I mean? There's all types of think tanks we could have created to bridge that gap, but they filled in the gap and made it up as they went, right? And so, and when you're anti-establishment, you're anti-cosmetology, and you're anti the formal training of barbering, and you want to, what that means that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to kind of still subject people and deploy myths, and you're going to solidify them in truth because you're going to say them over and over and over again. And
Mm-hmm.
then by the time the trend dies out, we have to actually go capture science. What
Hmm.
is We have to capture history. Okay, so
Hmm.
now we got to get the facts because we're at a precipice, right? And so
Right.
now we have to move forward. But every time Black people do not hang on or take the baton of an inheritance, what happens is that generation starts over. And when you are in a race and a competition, right, for economics and the uprising of the new immigrants of Latinos and other people coming into your market space, right?
Mm.
Well,
Dominicans.
right, when you're starting over, they're not.
Hmm.
So you're
Huh.
starting fresh.
So,
So
so, so,
every
so,
generation.
so to you, they're starting over,
Mhm.
but to them, they are creating something new inside that gap, particularly around textured hair, aka natural hair. And then, of course, they really, and even now more than ever, they're trying to fuel this hair loss, with this natural hair, as if that was really going to be the big, to do or whatever, when it comes to having longer hair, was that if you went natural, that this was automatically give you something that you couldn't have when you had chemicals and you were using heat on your hair. So, and so now you're saying, I like my story.
Yeah, every further generation thinks they're new, but they're only redoing something. It's not new. We've been natural before. That's what they're trying to do.
All
Recreate
right.
the Afro
Wait,
movement. We've done trichology before.
oh, they're
You
trying
start
to
on the
they're
base.
trying to recreate the natural, the one. Okay, well, all right. Well, we got some people in the chat. What's up, Miss Sonia Salam Lawana? I guess they coming through, but stick around with us because you sure don't want me knocking on your door. I can tell you that's why you're in the chat. Ernisa, we're always so glad to see you, my boss. Everybody go ahead on and drop them L's in the chat. What's up? What's up, boss? I'm so glad to see you. It's time for us to get together too. So again, we are on our 31st. I think I said this is our 31st episode, and tonight we are going to be talking about hormones, hair growth, and we're going to be talking about hair loss. And again, the conversation is really for our licensed professionals, because to me, this is the area where I professionally see a lot of cosmetologists kind of fell down the slippery slope, and they started regurgitating a lot of this misinformation. For example, the biggest one is your 4C hair. I can't think of anything just more asinine than a licensed professional. I just don't like, what's wrong with us, y'all? Like, why did we do that? I don't know. Some of those methods like the LOC method, and I don't know about that. And then now we're off into this hair growth. And so this is where your trichology has become like this really big thing, where you have licensed cosmetologists and barbers. I don't know if that particular certificate is open to your quote unquote natural hairstylist, but for now, I'm just going to say it's for licensed professionals. So that's a certificate that everybody is going after. They want to put the white coats on. They want to put the scrubs. I saw a video, they had the scrub. I'm like, y'all wearing scrubs now? And but TLC was like, I don't want no scrub, and so now they're looking very medical,
Clinical. Mm-hmm.
Clinical. Thank you. I keep telling y'all from the projects. Okay. So that's something that we're seeing a lot of, but now we have to kind of pull the reins back and say, cosmetologists, barbers, have you guys lost your rabbit A double cricket letter minds? We have to cut this nonsense out, because we're losing credibility because it's not working. The pseudo stuff, it's not working because women are still what? And they ain't got no more hair in 2024 than they had in 2020. I mean,
well, the trichology that they do learn is not really based on their art skill as a cosmetologist. It just doesn't gel. That's why I created cosmetic trichology, so it could gel and they could know how to apply.
Hold on. I'm sorry. You slid one in on me. I'm sorry for cutting you off. You said the trichology that they're learning does not match what they are taught in cosmetology. You just said that?
Yes.
Hold on.
What you talking about, Will?
I mean, don't the hair disorders, wouldn't they be the same? I mean, you got trichorexion, your monolithic.
Right, but your client has to have a follicular degeneration syndrome, which they really don't deal with. And that is the kind of hair loss that is akin to a cosmetologist's eyes. They'll see certain types of hair loss in their chair, but contact dermatitis and all of the other alopecia areatas and all of the autoimmune alopecias, they won't, their cosmetology knowledge does not help them in that regard. So they need to learn all of the covered alopecias and hair loss and shedding issues and breakage issues and hair that is aching to the things they use in their salon for them
Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. And like, oh, shut up. I'm sorry. But that is very profound. Are you hearing that? Respect your crown. What's up, Dewey? I mean, that's very, very, very profound because even me, like as a cosmetologist in the chair, it's like I don't know no other way to say it. So can I just say it, Cheryl? It's like we're just gonna have to tell on them, like, you know, all this stuff's a lie. You know, because if we see stuff in our chair and we know that some of the issues that we're seeing is directly related to the things that's happening from language like natural hair. I mean, how is it a natural hairstyle when it's full of artificial hair? Like a cosmetologist was like, dude, that's a hairstyle with like added hair and then also like the technique. So that's pretty deep. That's very powerful. So you guys got to stick around because remember now we're being very deliberate on this particular planet. This is planet Pluto Pseudo. And so here we're just pure and unadulterated for licensed cosmetologists. So get ready. We're on our 31st episode. We're going to take a deep dive into hormones, hair growth, and hair loss. I'm working behind the chair. Cheryl is the cosmetic trichologist. So I'm going to pull out all my cosmetology bull, fragger, pagger, knackle. I own a hair salon. So when they come in and they be saying some crazy stuff, and I'm looking like, Lord of mercy, I just want to take the whole and just douse them into Cheryl Morrow. You know, we be in a salon like, oh, like we were all shampooing hair today. I'm sorry, washing hair. And you know what? We all looked at each other and said, we just want to thank Cheryl Morrow, you know, because our salon career has changed exponentially since the Afro Hair Summit. I'm so excited that we're going to do it again in 2024. And the shampoo has made a big, big, big difference. You can even see it in the reviews. If you wish to read our reviews. So Cheryl, you know, I just really want to say thank you again so much. So we're going to go ahead on and get ready. We got the chat is looking pretty good. So we're going to go ahead on and start to get real. Now we got two. We always do two get reals. So we're going to start our get real off because y'all love my name, right? LaDosha, right? Don't y'all love my name? Come on, chat. Do y'all just love that name, LaDosha? Now, I particularly, and it has grown over me over the years. But you know, this is how much I don't like my name. My co-worker, her name's Latifah, right? You know what her daughter asked her the other day? She said, what is LaDosha's real name?
Oh God.
Okay. All right. So if you want to know what LaDosha's real name is, this reel is the real LaDosha. You ready, Cheryl? Y'all ready, chat?
I was ready.
Here's the real LaDosha. A real LaDosha.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That's my real name. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. She says, and this is what happens when you grow up with these. I wish I had a name like Cheryl. It's just so dignified and it's so, you know, just, you know, such a lady. LaDosha is just like, that name is just, ooh, that name is, you love the name. Y'all just being a little bit too much. Okay. All right, okay. Here's the next get real, y'all. Okay, that's my name. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you can't say it, just go. Okay, so now we're talking about hair loss. Cheryl, I've been on TikTok for like 3 nights. trying to find that would just blow your freaking mind. Because you're not always impressed with the reels. You just kind of be like, some of them are funny, but you'd be like, yeah. So tonight, this one is for Cheryl, y'all. I want everybody to get ready because this one right here, Cheryl gonna be like, okay, I definitely need to keep doing this podcast. Come on. So you ready, Cheryl? This one is called Real Hair Tracks. You ready, Cheryl?
Oh,
y'all ready, chat? Here we go. A real track of hair.
Day 2 of saving my hair. I started to take all the hair I found and put it on tape. It was not so much, but it's still something. The most of the hair was not so long, so I threw it away. When I was done putting the hair on tape, I had to straighten the hair because my natural hair is curly and messy. Some people wonder why I do this, and at the end I was thinking of doing a wig and give it to someone with cancer.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Now, Cheryl, it's some cosmetologists in the chat. And so y'all can relate. Respect your crowd. How many people come to the hair salon with that bag of hair? Come on. Come on now, y'all. And they bring this bag of hair to Ziploc. And I'm looking at them like, why do y'all do this? You're talking about the dumbest that people say. Why do y'all collect the hair in the bag and bring it like, what's us gonna do? So Cheryl, here is a lady. I know. I was hey boss. This one, Lawana. This is the one. See, your hair looks so beautiful, by the way. And imagine if you collected all your hair, and you thought you seen it all, didn't you?
I did. Not on the tape. Come on now.
She got it on the tape. Did y'all see that? And she said, I was gonna collect it,
make a wig
for somebody with cancer. Now, how your grandmother said? Come on, let's say it. Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't. So what's wrong with collecting the hair? Like, and she flat on it out, Cheryl. I mean, come on now, that ain't no good thing. So we can't collect our own hair and make a wig out of our own hair, like our hair fall.
No, the hair that is made into natural hair wigs were in the person's skull, in their scalp.
Okay, I see you, Shaniqua. So wigs are not made from hair fall. They actually scalp the person and then they make. I don't do weaves, y'all, so y'all just gotta work with Kilo, okay? I always wonder where they get all this stuff from. I don't think none of that's here, anywho. But anywho, let's get ready to hop into the topic. I thought they just collected all of it up and put it all up in there. Me and weaves, we ain't got nothing in common, okay? I like them though. I just don't get it, but you learn something new every day, okay? So we're going to hop into the topic, and it's all about hormones, hair growth, and hair loss. So I think the first thing that licensed cosmetologists, what we need to know is what's up? Is it Key? What's up, Kai or Key or Kai? Welcome back. Nice to see you again. So as licensed professionals, we hear a lot of people talk about that their hair loss problems are related to hormones. We also hear people talk about their hair growth problems, like if on their chin, maybe the mustache area. They talk about this situation, being related to hormones. So help us licensed folk understand, what do hormones have to do with hair growth and a little bit of hair loss? And definitely if you can talk about this hair on the chin and that kind of stuff, because that's something that women are really embarrassed about. But you do see more women actually wearing their beards now, like bearded women. They're not shaving them off so much. So, and I also, one last thing before you answer that, I heard you talk about that one of the mistakes that, or things that concerns you rather, about trichology is that it focuses too much on hair loss, which we're going to get into that a little bit more. But let's start off with hormones and hair. Like, what does all this mean? Because to us, you know, we just want to make it look cute, you know.
Well, in developing cosmetic trichology, I would probably say in 2007, I saw a need, and plus I wanted to retire from the everyday. And I shifted my clientele to other stylists. But I saw a need for Black women who were suffering from maybe post medication, post medical reasons, post menopause or pre-menopausal, and just hormonal issues. Now, in my practice in New York, I did not work with dermatology. I thought dermatology would not be a good fit for me. And so I would partner with gynecologists. Reason being is because they had more knowledge on hormones. Okay. And if the hair loss or the hair issue or the scalp issue, regardless if it doesn't necessarily have to be hair loss in a trichology practice or a cosmetic trichology practice, or because all cosmetology covers all of it, in my opinion. But I would naturally inform or suggest if the hair loss is systemic due to stressors, bacteria, or thyroid issues, right? I would give them to a gynecologist, and I would not partner with dermatology. Now, because at that point, if it is dermatology, it is very easy to figure out, and or there was something that followed under my license or my knowledge base. So I didn't need to. And then, of course, with the natural hair care, you have a lot of people with locks and braids and traction and weight alopecia issues that are damaging the follicles as well. And then fungus issues. And
now,
so,
would you say, in your professional opinion, do you think that's new? This because when I first became, in any cosmetologist, you could just let me know what you think. But when I first entered the industry, that would be like in 1999 and 2098 when I was in school. I didn't really hear anything about hair loss. Not like that. I mean, a person really had to have like the female pattern baldness, but now we rarely saw, and I know that's a petri dish statement, but like all this, traction. There was no such word as traction, alopecia, just all of these issues. Everybody had hair. I mean, and those that didn't, you sent them to a person who made wigs. It was just that simple,
hair loss issues really started in the early 90s as everyone was trying to shift from the cold wave curl or having a wave nouveau or leisure curl and trying to transfer and wear the hair straight, because the two sciences, the acid and then the alkaline, the acid of the cold wave, the curl, right, did not match the straight relaxer. And so you could not blend the two. So you could not keep the curled hair and transfer and transition that into a relaxed state. And so that really actually started the hair loss movement, and then you came in with the weaves and wigs because, of course, you guys, it's documented, and 20 million women went bald, and that is why we had the Rio.
What are you saying?
Yeah, we had the cope up. So the hair loss started in that era, and so weaves was the conduit. The Korean beauty supplies really thrived in that era because that is one of the reasons why Black people go to Sally Beauty Supply Company, because Willie Morrow's signature line was there, and he created this whole new movement. There was one movement in between the curl and the relaxer. It was called the dry curl.
Okay.
Wave Nouveau came in because the Wave Nouveau was drier and the Leisure Curl was drier. Anyway, but
I never knew that. I mean, I never,
Yeah, there was about 5.
I remember the Wave Nouveau, but I thought the Wave Nouveau, if you cosmetologists, if y'all can remember, I thought the Wave Nouveau was for like, like that. What was her name? Angela Winbush. I didn't know that it was supposed to be dry. I thought it was going to give you like a silkier, it was Puerto Rican, that stereotype hair look.
Yeah. So that was the MEAT Femme formula that Mr. Morrow created to make it the wet curl drier. Okay. And then we had the Ocean Wave. And then we went into the Willie Morrow signature line, which is the chalk treatment. Created this reform that Mr. Sharp talks about.
That's the one Miss B wanted. Miss B said she'd get on the pole for that one.
And then that took the curl out and made the hair be able to be worn straight.
So now, is it the chemicals that caused the hair problems, or was it the technician, or was it a combination of them both?
Well, you have to remember the manufacturer, the technological world, and the chemist world, and they're supposed to create this technology, right? And the trend changed before the hairstylists and the beauty schools and could catch up with teaching the knowledge. So
okay, cosmetology. So we can calm down. So there was because I think
the changed too fast.
Started getting the bad rap. The chemicals started getting, and the cosmetologists didn't have the language to kind of explain that they hadn't caught up, which is what you just said about trichology, which is very interesting.
Right. And so the trend changed, the thirst for this, the relaxer look, and that's when we started getting into the asymmetricals of, salt and pepper. And the Angela Winbushes, and everything was, cone hair, and then it was, asymmetrical, then you had the tails. And
everybody wanted the tail.
Yeah, you had the nice haircuts. Then you started getting all these cellophanes and burgundies and jet blues. It was a whole new style.
I had my blue black, and I ain't gonna have it.
Right. And so that era happened a little too quick before the ones who had the curl could change over. And so there was a lot of hair loss gap in the middle of all of that. And, they wanted the straight hair, and then we couldn't figure out why it wouldn't straighten. Remember, it would just be really weird. And you would say, oh no, you got this curl on it. You got this on it, and you got that on it. And, it started getting really weird. But, but the hair loss started between 1994.
So that was a chemical hair loss. All right. So and now we have
2020, and then all of that jazz. And then the weaves, actually, that is how weaving came in, really strong. That dovetailed into Rio, this natural relaxer, and then the Lock Nation of Locks and Chops and all these other locked people, it rose up.
So let me back it up. Let me back it up just a little bit. So when the curl went out, right, and the relaxer came in, and then that caused some hair loss issues, right? Mm-hmm. And then you had the hair weaves come in. Did the hair weaves exacerbate hair that was already lost? And the cosmetologist, did we miss that? Did it happen too fast to know that the hair weave was adding onto a hair loss problem, or was that a whole separate kind of a hair loss?
The technology did not answer, not Mr. Morrow, but the industry as a whole did not have a transition for the welcome into the relaxer world, because the chemistry is so different. And if you're not, and see, you have to remember, this is one of the failings of the companies in Black hair care. Mr. Morrow was a formulator. See, he could see it, he changed, he formulated, and he changed. Well, when you're a soft sheen, you're a brand. You're not doing your own research. See, when you're Proline, you're not doing your own research. You're Johnson, you're not doing and those are really brands who are used to manufacturing activator. And then they made their own cold waves. They made their own perm lotions, but they just could not shift into this new science ready to make the hair acid, which was permanent wave, and cold wave, thio. They couldn't make the shift to alkaline, to sodium hydroxide, because the science, and they just couldn't catch up. And so there was a lot of gap there where the hair, we just cut it off, they started over, or they lost it, they tried it, and it just didn't work.
All right. And so now you have the hair, now you have okay, hold on. We got a good one in here. So, and then she said, this is Kai, she says, to add to it, she's been studying the nutrition and connection to hormones and the shift study she's found in the 21st century that GMOs, your genetically modified, is that organisms, I think? Okay. Chemicals, GMOs, okay, chemicals companies have been using in reference to consumption, like it could be a big push to this topic as well. Okay, so can we tack on the increase of GMOs and what people are eating, and could that exacerbate any hair loss issues and hair growth expectations?
I think it could have a cascading effect, but it is not connected. Diet and nutrition is not, in my expert opinion, because see, it's a cascade effect. The nutrition you put in your mouth is not direct connection to your hair falling out. It will be a long over toxic fatty liver, kidney issues. It's a cascade effect, and then most of your hair loss issues will be connected to a gland which produces hormones. So it has to, that lack of nutrition has to be able to kick a organ off, which will create a cascade effect or a mobile effect. It's just not, you can't eat your way, and you know what I mean? Because beauty, your skin and everything is environmental, connected to your immune system. The immune system has to have balance and homeostasis. So the food is for your organs and your blood, your white blood cells, and to keep the nutrition, but your minerals and your deficiencies or efficiencies are connected to your immune system, and to keep the autoimmune diseases away, which usually starts playing havoc on your beauty. Things that we notice, your energy, right? Your hormones, your androgens, your serotonins, and your all of your estrogen and progesterone and your testosterone, because you have testosterone too. And if any of those get off, they will turn into low estrogen, high testosterone. Testosterone will turn into an androgen, and that's where you get the hirsutism, the hair on the chin and the hair on the lip. But you want to keep when those things get off balance, your thyroid, and then your and then you want to keep your lymphatic system.
Now, are these things that now I'm for one, behind the chair. We do a
This
consultation.
is systemic
I
hair
don't
loss.
right. I
It's
don't
not
think that
cosmetic. Yeah,
okay, systemic. Okay, so I don't think cosmetologists should be playing doctor here, and I'm not saying that you are, or and that we should. So because like I would not know any of that, but we do get a lot of this in the hair salon. And what we now, because I'm always training in our hair salon, and that's a big push for licensed professionals to be able to think that they can solve a hair loss issue, cosmetically, when, like you said, it could be something hormonally. So for the licensed professionals who are in the chat, where do we draw the line of turning that hair loss situation over to a gynecologist or a dermatologist, or and that we could, solve it ourselves? And I'm going to play a clip and that we could go a little bit more into this. So how do we, address that, professionally behind that chair?
Well, you know, in, let's just say a cosmetic trichologist course, cosmetic trichology, you would have to know a level of anatomy, because beauty is hormonal, right?
I gotta put that up there. Beauty is hormone. I have never heard that. How many people in the chat have heard beauty is hormonal? And please drop your question. Sonia, you had a question. If you're still in the chat, we welcome all questions. Thank you so much, Miss Kai. But beauty is hormonal. I thought you are what you eat. I've always been under the notion that food, I'm kind of like Kai, has a lot to do, like sugary foods, like makes your skin, I've heard all this type of stuff, chocolate, and you're saying that beauty is more.
Well, here you go. That's a very good example. But you ate chocolate. It's not just the sugar, it's the insulin resistance. And when you get insulin resistant, you start the hormones in your glands, and they start dumping in your liver, right? It's trying to dump and turn that into energy. And then when you get stressed, you'll dump cortisol. But you'll say it's the cravings that you're eating because you're stressed that raises cortisol. So is it the cortisol or is it the chocolate? And so that's what I want you guys to focus on. What you put in your mouth is going to cause a cascade of a turn of events. It's not just the fact that you can change the food and then reverse the end result, because the cascade, the domino effect is way back there. And then you guys will just say, oh, well, then I can just change my diet. Changing your diet is good because you want to change the domino effect.
But the food itself ain't gonna cut the mustard. Okay.
Well, so it's not directly connected to the hair, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
The stress.
Well, I gotta take a couple of my videos off there. I've been pseudo out here. I'm just telling the truth according to proof over here. So I have said to a lot of my customers, you are what you eat and all this, that, and the third. But as we can see, it's not all the way pseudo, but the magic word that we should be talking with our customers about is cascading. Okay. We should not be telling people.
Right. So it's domino effect. Right.
Yeah. Right. Or I like Cheryl said, unless it's severe, like if you're severely malnourished, like if you're bulimic, where people are just not eating, starvation, things of that. That's a whole nother.
Bulimic is going to what? Kick the organs in what? Trauma. The immune system is going to say, trauma, and then all of the subsequent cellular production, all of the messages, the transmitters in the hormones are going to start shutting down systems. And the body discriminates. And so when the body discriminates, it keeps your heart, your brain, your liver, and your kidneys and your heart optimal function, keep you alive. Everything else, they tell them, kiss my ass, okay?
Wow. Hold on, Shan. That's hammer time, right? Shan, drop a hammer in the chat.
It's your eyes, it's your sleepy, it's your energy, it's your bones, it's your everything. So the body keeps you alive. It doesn't keep you pretty because it doesn't have the extra resources.
Can you say it again?
I'm sorry?
You said the body keeps...
The body discriminates.
Woo.
It keeps your heart, your brain, okay? Your liver, your kidneys, all right? And, it keeps all those things going. It doesn't keep your hair. It doesn't keep you high energy. Doesn't keep you in a good mood. It doesn't do all those things. All those things are extra. The body discriminates. And the immune system is making the choices. It's the Supreme Court, right? And it has to make decisions, okay? And sometimes when they don't have enough minerals, don't have enough electrolytes, and it doesn't have enough resources, it goes into a deficit, okay? And then it starts discriminating what cell production is going to shut down. And that's what happens under chemo. See, it has to reserve your resources. It does not keep the other things alive when it has low resources. You have more resources, more minerals, more water, more hormonal balance. All the systems are getting up and going, and the body is saying, okay, cut on the hair cell. And now your hair starts growing back.
This is really profound for me, as a cosmetologist, because a lot of people, they do diets for hair. They eat certain foods for hair. And again, I get the power of the cascading effect, but I think a lot of cosmetologists now, I'm not hating on the natural hair industry for the sake of hating on them, but I'm hating on them because they're not turning to experts like Cheryl to help them refine the messages that they are sending out to the customers who come back in the salon. And then there's a power struggle with us because we don't have, excuse the expression, guys, cosmetologists, we don't have our shit together. Cheryl knew where I was going with that, okay? That's why you started laughing. And this is why we have the Planet Pluto Pseudo podcast for your licensed cosmetologists, barbers, nail techs, estheticians like you, Miss Kai, and the natural hair community, and those braiders, because we need somebody to pull us back and get us on our right track, because we just learned at the beginning that we have filled that gap in knowledge with so much misinformation. We do need a person like Cheryl. There are other experts, I'm sure there are, but Cheryl is ours. So y'all got to get y'all all expert on your platform. So now we got a good feel about the body. Now let's go into things that definitely influence our hormones, like birth control pills. So when we're in the salon, one of the things that I always ask my customers is, are you taking any medication? And birth control always comes up. So here is what this doctor had to say about, again, hormones, hair growth, and hair loss. So this is her take on birth control pills, hormones, and hair.
How can birth control cause hair loss? Hormonal birth control can lead to a type of diffuse hair loss called telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium is felt to be a reactive process. It's defined as excessive shedding of resting or telogen hair after some type of metabolic stress, hormonal change, or new medication. It's usually self-limited, meaning it resolves on its own.
All right. So people, women, we don't have no kids. We're going to take some birth control pills out here. We're going to get the little depot shot and whatever we want to do. And so weight gain and hair loss are the two main reasons why women will be like, I'm not taking these birth control situations here. So what is it about birth control pills that does strange things, to the hair? And what do you think about, we're not telling y'all not to take them, but if they're really concerned about the birth control pill and hair loss, what, because cosmetologists, I tell my customers, do not abruptly stop taking any medication. I don't care what it is. So that's always my thing. And then I would say, you must talk to your doctors. Like, we should not be telling people, stop taking your birth control pills. Don't, so what do you think about that? I mean, go into that a little bit more.
I'm going to answer this. Hopefully that we are post 2000, Y2K post 2000. That may have been true for women in the 60s, but the birth controls are way too sophisticated. The birth controls actually will balance your hormones. So I have that the birth controls are.
Damn, you becoming hard. Say what?
Yeah. I think that I know because one of my dearest colleagues was a pharmaceutical rep, and their technology and their birth control pills, especially what maybe was the newest thing, maybe about 2004, 2005, tetracycline. It was extremely a very sophisticated contraceptive, and it was good for balancing the hormonal jumps that women could in their progesterone and their estrogen taking birth control. And also certain the underlining, when you're talking about the depot shot, something that would be foreign into the body. The problem here is, especially with Black women, and those Black women were my patients, right? Those are the people that, I treated, was in my chair, had a very, and this is to Ms. Kai, a very pre-existing condition called, I wouldn't say malnutrition, but their insulin resistance was off the chart, ate a lot of carbohydrates, and so that cascaded into a lot of stressors, a lot of cortisol, and you can tell the cortisol when the midsection and the insulin resistance, the midsection gets very fluffy. But it's a combination of things. By the time they're saying, weight gain and the depot and the contraceptive, but it's not the contraceptive alone. These women have maybe some nutritional issues.
And so with that being said, this is why we should not be using Google and YouTube to regurgitate, because now we can see that there's some other stuff that's evolving in the world of contraception. Now remember, guys, we're cosmetologists, we're barbers, we're nail technicians, we're estheticians, we're natural hairstylists, we're braiders, we're locticians. We really should not be on these platforms taking this information and regurgitating it. We should be going to classes like, this is not a shameless plug, this is a fact. You should be planning to attend the Afro Hair Summit this fall so that you're not spewing stuff that's not true, because that's what I'm seeing so far, Cheryl. We could be very damaging with this misinformation.
Yeah. And I think that we haven't updated it probably, that the reel you showed could just be, she's just carrying something from something that was 80s and 70s.
Yeah, well, she was pretty modern there. She looked like that. She just made that last week. Now I got to understand.
But right, if you don't read, it's almost like, most people say there's just, there's still 10 women to 1 man. No, men are past women in population. So if you don't refresh your information and you just know, oh yeah, that's just a common thought, and you really haven't refreshed your data, you don't know that the only vitamins actually that the FDA govern, because the FDA don't govern vitamins. The only vitamins, the only nutrition that the FDA says better work is, prenatal pills.
That's true.
So gynecologists, that world, and their world has to be on point.
Wow.
So a lot of great prenatal and contraceptive technology is coming out of women's health. Now, can they improve? I'm not saying that they can't improve, but from your 80s and 90s and early 2000s, come on, sisters. I mean, the information gotten different, and there's a lot of more choices.
So we gotta push the Cheryl. Can you do me a favor, because the chat's looking pretty full, and I think we're getting a lot of thumbs up. People are loving the information. Can you just take like 1 second out and show people, help change the narrative about hormones, hair growth, and hair loss? Just show them how to.
Are you key free?
Do this for us right now. Cheryl's gonna show y'all how to do it. I'm not frozen now. I'm unfrozen now. Okay, here we go. Watch this, y'all. Here we go. All right, so we appreciate the love. The chat is just growing. The knowledge is good. We on our 31st episode. We are talking about hormones, hair growth, and hair loss. We also see that right now, a lot of the information that we're hearing, not only could it, we should not be regurgitating it, but as Cheryl said, a lot of it could be outdated. So we have to make sure we must go to school, guys. Cheryl, do I have permission to show a picture of the Afro Hair Summit? Can I show that a little bit? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the image of the Afro Hair. We have 2 images. It's coming soon in October of 2024. So here you go right here. This is the Afro Hair Science Summit. It's going to happen again in the greater Cleveland area. You guys stick around. And so we're talking about mastering textures, coloring principles, salon suite versus salon businesses. This one is really, really, really to offset what we're not. We as licensed professionals, we haven't been out here on the pulse of what you guys are looking for. And this is why we have this podcast. But this ain't really the place to really kick the ballistics and drop the knowledge. You have to plan to attend the Afro Hair Summit. Feel free to email us at afrohairscience@gmail.com. We'll put your name on the list. The education is always thebomb.com, very affordable. Cheryl is always our resident cosmetic trichologist. So she'll be doing some teaching, of course, myself. And, maybe we'll get some more people. But for right now, that's what we have coming. But speaking of knowledge, our book of the month, again, in case you guys don't have the copy, I'm telling you right now, if you ain't rocking Imperial leather, get off planet Pluto Pseudo, go on back down to planet Earth, and y'all keep reading some of that nonsense, all right? So here's a little situation here. We talked about birth controls and men and all this good stuff. So our author, again, her name is Anne McClintock. And so this one here is about, men. Are you guys ready for this one? All right. So here she goes. Luce Irrigere suggests that the male insistence on marking the product of copulation with his own name stems from the uncertainty of the male's relations to origins. The fact of being deprived of a womb, she suggests, is the most intolerable deprivation of man, since his contributions to gestation, his function with regard to the origin of reproduction, is hence asserted as less than evident and open to doubt. What is it? Papa's maybe, daddy's maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. The guys really don't have. So she said the father has no visible proof that the child is his. And so his gestative status is not guaranteed. So the name, the patrimony, is a substitute for missing the guarantee of fatherhood. That's kind of, is she hating on the men, Cheryl?
Well, she's putting a very scholastic kind of critical thinking of how we get a name like menopause, menses. You're like, we couldn't get another name other than. So what she's saying is imparting that they are imparting a lot of their as much as they can. And at the early start of the 19th, 18th century, I'm sure they're thinking like,
Well, okay. So to your point, I think you might be onto something. So she says this, and we're going to move on. She says that the imperial act of discovery can be compared with the male act of baptism, which I didn't know that was a male act. In both rituals, Western men publicly disavow the creative agency of others, the colonized women, right? And the arrogant to themselves, the powers of origins. The male ritual of baptism, with its bowls of holy water, its washing, its male midwives, is a surrogate birthing ritual during which men collectively compensate themselves for their invisible role in the birth of the child and diminish the women's agency. And just basically like the child can't be the child unless the man say they just erase the mother. So that's pretty.
That's a very profound thought.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
That's a lot of critical analysis and psycho.
Yeah, it says in the eyes of Christianity, women are incomplete birthers. The child must be born again and named by men. Girl, bye. I'm telling y'all better get this book. Woo! I told you, me and my brother, we drove to and from Baltimore on this book because it is just that deep. Let's get into another topic. All right. So here we are on our 31st episode, and you guys stick around. You got some good questions. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. And we're going to move from birth control pills and hormones. All right. And let's talk a little bit about that estrogen and hair loss. You talked about testosterone. So let's get into some of this estrogen, and then we're going to wrap it up when we're going to talk about some cures for hair loss. So here we go.
Today, I want to talk about all the different hormone issues that could contribute to hair loss. I have a ton of hair, but have had a lot of hair. Have you guys noticed how I always have all this hair sticking up? And maybe you haven't seen, like, I can't get it, like breakage and a lot less hair right here in these pieces that are breaking off. One of the most important things for hair is estrogen. And women who have a baby, after they have a baby, have a sharp decrease in estrogen when the baby's delivered. And that's when we see a lot of hair loss. Now.
All right. So she's saying that when women have children, they lose the hair. And that's, women are so concerned. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, everybody. That hairline, hair loss, and you see how she was pulling it, and she was showing that hair loss, and so it's really serious, and that an effect in the estrogen levels particularly after pregnancy, has a lot to do with the hair loss, especially around the hairline. Now, is that true, or is that some old outdated stuff as well?
Well, I mean, she has an, but she has an issue that's to me, in my opinion, more pertinent um, than because she's graying. See, she colors. She probably colors at some point, but I'm sure she's probably married our age, maybe mid-50s, right? And so but it could be to a drying issue because she's starting to gray, and the graying is an autoimmune process. Now, all women, I would probably say, give or take, is dropping estrogen after 30.
And what are men? What are men dropping as they age?
Well, let me just say this, because all women have something in common. They have ovaries, right? And they are on a time limit in terms of producing ovum, all right? And that estrogen needs to be at a pinnacle. The problem, I think, with women's health, they are actually getting physically stronger and the beauty hormone gets less. So as they age, when women say they're getting better, it's because the estrogen is coming down, and they now are becoming the testosterone. They can become more masculine, or more or their bodies are not so prone to fat issues. They get more leaner. People say they get meaner, but you start losing the estrogen after 30, the drip. So maybe 30, you're starting to go into premenopause.
Okay, and then for men, my brother said men start losing testosterone, and women lose estrogen, and men lose testosterone. Is that correct?
Well, there's yes. However, I believe men, it's more probably on a clock of hereditary.
Yeah.
They're more on a clock, and then what they end up doing is that they have, they have this thing that they say about a midlife crisis, right? And most men in their midlife crisis, what they want to do is that they'll pump the weights, and they'll do this, and they'll go into, their faster car, or they'll get this because the hormone of the testosterone is slowing, right? And then their ability to round out, to become wiser, to become slower, to listen more, so they're attaching testosterone to ego. And so as they age, they do get, the drip of the testosterone does get less and less. But when they go into the gym and they pump it up, or they start taking vitamins and trying to get their vitality back.
Cher said, take Viagra, take some Viagra.
Right. Absolutely. The key here is that then that turns into DHT. Women can get into DHT, and then where they should have hair, they lose it. But the men's baldness or thinning starts coming from their Y chromosome.
So from their mom?
Y chromosome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the X and the Y.
The estrogen is usually a beauty hormone, keeps you vital, and your hair on your head, keeps you, your face and your skin supple, but keeps all the pigment, you know what I mean? When you start to lose it, yours is hereditary.
Now my estrogen is weak, dog, because this is
right, but that's hereditary. You've been graying a long time.
This is true.
Yeah. but I don't know if there was a question, but that is where that brittleness in her front. I'm sure she tries.
So sometimes what we think is our hormones, it could be environmental. It could be hair coloring. It could.
And she wears ponytails.
So okay, and ponytails. All right. So now as we wrap this up, it's 11:15. We're going to go ahead and begin to wrap this up. So let me see, is there a cure? So now we've got a clear understanding as licensed professionals. We got to make sure you're not being pseudo out here, okay? Get some education. So are there any cures? Here's a clip. Let's see what they say.
This is targeting regrowing the edges.
What dermatologists, any general medical practitioner will tell you is a good multivitamin will be good for hair loss in general, most kinds. The vitamins people talk about, biotin, B complex, but you really need them all. You need vitamin C, you need zinc, you need adequate protein in your diet.
All right. So can we take these vitamins and use these topical, baby, don't be bald on your edges? And can these help offset what the hormones are doing? I mean, just let's cut through the chase, because, everybody got some vitamins that they're, you know what I'm saying? So can vitamins and salves and ointments and oils, particularly the hairline, can these things truly help with hormonal hair loss?
Not with cosmetic hair loss.
Damn.
Cosmetic induced. If you are deficient, imbalanced, you want to get to optimal health, to where you get to homeostasis, right? And you get to hormonal balance, right? And to where your body can easily go into keto, right? And you can burn the fat and remain insulin sensitive, and you can, and all systems are working. And I think that the lady is right, who we saw towards the end. Your B's and to keep your thyroid from being either hyper or hypo, right? And usually that's vitamin A or zinc. It's a good one. Mention.
So we can take vitamins, correct?
Right, to keep your hormones in your lymphatic system drained. Make sure you're fatty, your liver is not fatty. There's all types of wonderful nutritional things to do, vitamin D and C. But when it comes to cosmetic and you're trying to solve the last woman's problem with having edges and drying and it becoming very, snap, well, we have to talk about, what she did to get there and reverse that. And that's why you have to have a good consultation palette. A good lexicon.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about consultations at the salon for the team. I'm really big on consultations. And we also have Brazil is in the house. What's going on, Miss Pastora? Welcome. So nice to have you. Let me give you a big round of applause. Hold on now before we leave. We don't want to forget. We got to give our sister. Thank you so much, Shan, because the chat was kind of moving. And so I'll be missing. So welcome, Miss Pastora. Anna. All right, representing Brazil is in the chat. All right. Okay, so we can take some vitamins, but we can't put ointment. So what is it about the hairline? Because is it something separate that we can do for that hairline? Because people are really concerned about that. And as licensed professionals, that's the area that the customers really want help with the most, Cheryl, is that hairline. What can you help them with?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest. If
men too, it's not just women, guys. Men.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying men and women.
Right. If you're going to go to that kind of thing, you can go to a tincture, right? But it's going to have some technology in the bottle, like a thermal patch. You're going to have to be able to break through and to get the TRVP kind of neurotransmitters in the scalp, because there are receptors in the scalp, but they are part of your cannabinoid system.
And what is that? I'm sorry. What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. It's part of your endocannabinoid system. And I can give you, we're going to have LaDosha give you guys a link to where she can go to it and show you guys on the screen. And maybe we can do that next week when we're talking about the immune system and healthy hair.
I was going to go there as we wrap this up. Go ahead. Yeah.
And so you can take a tincture, but it has to have cannabinoids in it, like CBG, CBD, CBN, because you do have receptors in the scalp. You do. But the hair trichology world, formulation in the lab and trichology in the salon, we haven't got together. That's the problem in the beauty industry, because we're so fixated either on natural hair or... Go ahead.
Right. So we haven't, and I'm with you, Shem, Dr. Bob. That definitely was pretty powerful. So as we wrap this up, because you're just always dropping the bomb on us, as we look at, this is something that you have predicted. I just want to show, because I like to, sure, she just always be jamming on the one, jamming on the one. So you talked about the natural hair industry was starting to look more like cosmetology. So here they are talking about protective styles, locks. So look at this, guys. So now natural hair show, I'm not saying they never had it, but I'm just saying, sure, I predicted this. So look at that. So now they have makeup, skincare, nails. You see that? Nails. So I just want to say that, Cheryl, you are the bomb. You did predict that this natural hair, quote unquote, movement or industry was going to be dipping back into cosmetology and barbering. Yeah. So I just want to give you a big round of applause. And I didn't quite see it. I didn't think they would, but I think that Talia Wajid's natural hair show is taking place. By the way, guys, if you want to go check it out, it is happening at the end of the month in Atlanta, and you can go to the Talia Wajid website. And I don't want to, y'all like, y'all hating on the natural. I ain't hating. We're gonna go ahead on and show them some love right here, and you guys can go and check them out. Something big is coming, but this is how it looked in 2018. Just to show you how Cheryl was correct. It was just the natural, healthy lifestyle event, right? It was natural hair. That's what it was. There was nothing about no nails or none of that. This is how it looked in 2013. It was natural health and beauty. So she kind of went back, because Cheryl talked about that too. Actually, I feel like I'm just like blowing a kiss in your butt, but they even went kind of back, went forward again. So so this is her thing, natural health and beauty show. So from 2013 to 2018, she dipped over to healthy lifestyle, but then she came back around to health and beauty, and now she's adding the full cosmetology component. Which, and we can see this also if you just look at their little picture here, Cheryl. Oh, it's not on here, but let me show you right quick. Cheryl predicted this. Look at that. There's a straightening comb, the blow dryer. In the beginning, they were anti all of these things, but now there you have it. So Cheryl, I don't know how you do this stuff, but good Lord, child, you're just, I don't know. I'm with you. Like, let's give her another round of applause. I don't know how you're able. I would never have predicted that. So here you go again. All right. So we are going to be back next week, and we're going to be back here on Monday. on the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And we're going to be talking about mixing and matching products and cocktailing products because everybody likes to make their own stuff. So we're going to pick shows. I'm actually going to bring some products, some gel and some oil, and see, can you cocktail and mix stuff, because people love to just make their own stuff. Customization is the new buzzword now. We're going to talk about that. And then when we come back, Cheryl said we got to do part 2 on this topic about hormones and hair growth and hair loss. And we have to get into the immune system. And that's very interesting because the immune system, people want to take immune pills. And I did not know that the immune system is directly tied to hair growth and hair loss. So this is going to be deep. So if you are a licensed professional, it's going to be good. I'm sure it also is going to affect your skin as well, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So anything in closing that you have for us on this topic of hormones, hair growth, and hair loss? I hope you all have learned something very powerful, because I most certainly did.
Hormones do help you stay beautiful. They help you stay feeling good. They help your skin glow. They make your eyes white, your teeth white. It make your muscles and bones. And I think that it is a subject, the hormones in the immune system don't get center stage often. But as cosmetologists, I think that we should be able to talk about balance, pH balance. We talk about pH balance all the time in chemistry. So we do know how we could, kind of dovetail that into that overall, the most beautiful appearance, no matter how beautiful you are. The ultimate beauty inside is balance.
Wow.
Homeostasis.
All right. So Shan wants the glasses and Kai wants my jewelry. Okay. I'll check out my ring here. Ooh, that's a bad ring. I know, it's so bad. And we do sell the bracelets, the Crobo bracelets. We sell those at the hair salon. And then last but not least, before we check up out of here, I just want to let everyone know May is officially foster parent and adoption month. So as usual, every year at the Reverend Design Team Hair Salon, we always host a free workshop for foster parents and adoptive parents where we help them understand and we teach them some techniques and tools and all these products for their children's hair. So it's absolutely for the free. So call RDT Hair Salon at 216-321-1101. Shan or Chrissy will RSVP you. Of course, we're going to feed you. And we got some great giveaways, compliments of Rev Air and the right hair products. So that's what's going down. And that's going to be Sunday, May 19th. So spread the word like Thunderbird. All right, guys? We're going to go ahead and check out. And then we will be back here on Thursday doing part 2. And I kind of like this little tagline we got going here. The body keeps you alive. It does not keep you pretty. We're talking hormones and, which I can't believe, the immune system. And that's going to be, we're going to talk about that. So it's going to get a little bit deep. So all you Cosmo nerds, this is going down next Thursday. All right. You know what we say when we're signing out, right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you Monday at 6 o'clock in the chat. All right, guys. Wait, I got to get the song. Hold on. Don't go off yet. It's coming. Here we go.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.